Hey, what's up, guys? And here is a summary of the Traveling Man course. Okay, this right here, we're just going to go ahead and cover the points that I think are most important, just to summarize this little mini course to therefore help you guys eat healthier on the road, manage your stress and anxiety on the road, and ultimately get yourself to be in a better position so you can show up for your clients, show up for the conferences, the sales, just in a much better place, so you're going to be having higher chances of closing and having a successful work trip. So what we're going to first go over, guys, is we're going to first go over pre-travel trips. So here, might be before the airport. This might be you just rushing out of the door or getting ready. You're going to eat a large, healthy breakfast. So an example of that would be an egg white omelet, side of berries, and whole wheat toast. You're going to pack water and protein bars from home. So whatever carry-on snacks that you have in your cabinet, whether that be your Greek yogurts, Chobani's Greek yogurts, your protein bars, your seeds, your nuts, your fruits. Go ahead and just get a bunch of Ziploc bags and put them in there. Therefore, you can have a bunch of array of snacks for your carry-ons when going on an airplane. Tip number 3: choose your dinner venue and what food you're going to eat in your hotel. So when you arrive, you're going to go ahead and you're going to figure out what your dinner plans are. We're going to use planning as a way to make sure that we prevent failure. So go ahead and choose like 2 or 3. I prefer steakhouses for this, guys, because it's easiest to make good, healthy choices. I would avoid restaurants that the menu has poor options. So go ahead and look at the menu to make sure that it's easy to make healthy choices. And then number 4, you're going to go ahead and you're going to plug in your breakfast and your snacks utilizing a tracking device, MyFitnessPal. This is where you can use an app to track your food. And so what you can do is you can actually go ahead in the morning and you can go ahead and track your breakfasts and your snacks that you're going to have on your carry-on. And it'll give you a calorie remaining number, which basically is going to give you an idea of how much you can eat at a restaurant. You can also do it backwards too, where you're plugging in the restaurant's food first, and then you can have a breakfast and snacks that way as well. You can do it 2 ways, okay? But all we're doing is we're trying to figure out the remaining calories that you're going to be able to make a wiser choice when at a restaurant. To start your day, you're going to wake up, okay? You're going to label your alarm, just get up, or label your alarm an affirmation like something that motivates you, whether that's a Bible verse, whether that's a quote that you like. You can always actually label your alarm so the first thing that you see is really, really good. If you have a later flight, you can actually work out. So whether that's a fasted cardio session between cardio, incline walk, elliptical or seated bike, stair climber, or you actually do weights for 30 minutes, this is going to be awesome. While having your omelet, okay, or actually before your omelet, go ahead and have a coffee. You're going to go ahead and then plan your day. So this is basically where you're going to use something like a Google Calendar or a journal to plan out the task that you need to do. So this is just getting very clear in the day on what your travel day looks like. Again, really utilizing a plan. So that means, what does your day look like in the front end? What does your day look at lunch? What does your day look like at the back end for dinner? Are there client meetings there? Are there conferences? Are there sales calls? Are there wine and dine clients? Wherever you were at, are there professional meetings? Just get very clear on that, okay? And then the workday, again, I'm really big on these activity breaks, or productivity breaks, whatever you want to call them. Studies actually show that you're actually more you have a better mind, you have better cognition when you're actually taking breaks every 45 minutes to 1 hour. So you're going to label these alarms again, whether that's a distance of steps that you're going for, like 5,000 steps, or a certain amount of laps around the hotel, or this is just you getting up and walking for 15 minutes, whatever it may be. These are little micro breaks, okay? So this is just going to be huge to reduce stress. You can, again, deep breathe during this, and this is just a good way to get up and stretch and avoid pains and aches. So again, during the workday, just staying hydrated and just being mindful of the eating that we're choosing. So again, going along with your plan, making sure that we don't choose any, really junk food or any sugary drinks along the way. This is very, very important. Okay. Going out to dinner, this is very, very important as well. Choosing the exact meal at the restaurant before you arrive. You're going into the restaurant with a plan. You're making sure that you're choosing a good, healthy option that has protein, vegetables, and minimally processed carbs. Have water on the side. Make sure that you budget the calories. So What I mean by budgeting calories is that if, let's say, you want to have a higher amount of food at the late end of your day, so you know that dinner is the late end of your day, you can actually have lighter meals leading up to your dinner. You can actually then go ahead and use MyFitnessPal and plug in the food that you choose off the menu the best you can. So again, the calorie remaining, you understand how much food you have to work with up until the point you eat at dinner. Okay. Alcohol. This is very, very important. Alcohol does come along with whining and dining and these conferences, and obviously peer pressure. People that go to these conferences usually party at night, and it's really work hard, play hard. You had a really successful day of sitting, listening to speakers or whatever the work trip requires. You're using your mind. And so a lot of times we want to go, to a bar or something like that to really relieve the stress that we experience in the day. I'm going to be straight up and blunt with you guys. That's not the best way to deal with stress at all. And if you're serious about your weight loss, you need to take alcohol very seriously. And I mean that 100%. Okay. You're not going to see the weight loss that you're looking for if you're constantly drinking. And especially if you're someone that's traveling a lot. Your customers, okay, are going to actually respect you more because you're disciplined to say no to having a drink. They're going to respect you more. It's actually only in our head and our own anxiety and fear that we believe that we need to get these people drunk enough because we're not good enough to close the sale. So again, kind of go back in your head and think about that for just a second, because your alcohol is just a crutch. It's not anything that's actually going to help you close the sale at all. It's just something that just gets us to be feeling maybe a little bit more confident, a little bit more loose, because we've had a wall of fear and anxiety in front of us, and alcohol definitely helps simmer that down. However, if you do choose to drink, because I'm not going to tell you what to do, I'm not going to be a guy that's going to say you can't have a beer, at dinner. You want to set a limit, okay? You want to set a limit. Okay. If it is beer, choose light beer. I know I said no beer. Choose a light beer. Choose a cap. Do not go over your cap. Vodka sodas, tequila sodas, gin and tonics, seltzers. Really, that's it. You want lower calorie options of alcohol, and you want to make sure that you put a cap. If you go over the cap, you're an asshole. You got to penalize yourself the next day. It's just the facts. Okay. If you go over your cap, okay, that's on you. You need to have the ramifications of that. You're not going to have a better day the next day. Usually you guys know that, okay? But what I would recommend is putting some sort of penalty system just to give you self accountability if you go over your limit. That might mean you do 30 minutes of fasted cardio the next day to sweat it out. That might mean that you're super healthy and you're not doing alcohol a second time. Okay, don't repeat anything twice. Words to live by. If you do it once, do not do it twice. Okay, and then that's going to become a habit. Do not do things twice. Okay, but also give yourself some grace, because we're not perfect and we are human. But just have some sort of self accountability. That's all I ask. Intermittent fasting. Again, this is something we can go ahead and use if let's say that we went off the rails because we had too much food. The following day, we can use fasting techniques. We can use fasting techniques to have more calories. Again, budgeting calories for, alcohol or a bigger meal at dinner time. So these are the options you can go ahead and choose through fasting. These all include sleep. Okay. So 16 hours fast, that means you're actually fasting for sleep and awake. This is a combined time. Okay. This is 8 hours for your eating window. Nothing's really changing about your choices of food. You're just going to go ahead and make sure that you have an 8 hour window. 14-10, again, 14 hours fast, 10 hours eating, 10 hours fast, 14 eating, 12 hours fast, 12 eating. Again, we can do extended fast as well, 16 hours plus. If you're someone that really likes the benefits of fasting for travel. Okay. But fasting is very good. What I'd recommend here, guys, is to, strategically use fasting. It's a very good thing to use, but don't fast the whole entire time you're there, because your body is going to need healthy, whole foods. Here's an example menu, okay? So this might be breakfast, at a Starbucks, or you might be intermittent fasting for breakfast. You might not eat breakfast, but again, the hotel breakfast that you've watched previously, go ahead and watch that back. That's what it's basically going to look like. Scrambled eggs, protein, healthy yogurt, berries, good whole grain toast with sugar-free jam. Restaurant options, right? Again, this is usually at the conference that you're at, whatever it may be. You're just making sure you have half your plate vegetables, a fourth of your plate protein. You can always opt out for salads or soups. No fried foods and oil or anything like that. Again, dinner, mostly protein and vegetables, and limit alcohol. It's an example of what your day would look like. Okay. Before we go, here are some bonus tips. Before going to bed, choose where and what you're going to eat for the following day. Okay, so again, you're planning, right? So at night, you're reflecting on what you could do better, how you're going to get 1% better for tomorrow. But then you're also choosing the menu, the food off the menu at the restaurant you're going to go the next day. So you're always ahead of the curve. Go to the store to get some pre-made protein shakes to hold off any temptations. So you can go to the store. You can also get snacks at the store, pre-made stuff. Any of the things off the healthy snack list, you can also get at the store. So therefore, at the conference, you can go ahead and curb any cravings that you have. Low sodium jerky or fruit. Walking to places is very important. And then setting up your environment, okay, to remind yourself of why you're there. Looking at those goals, looking at those quotes, setting up your productivity breaks. Just understand that you cannot do things twice. Okay, make sure that if you do things twice, do not do it a third time for whatever reason. Okay, I'm going to hold you guys accountable to this. This is the best thing that I've learned in terms of trying to manage your health and wellness around travel.